So let's talk about the time value of money. For this unit, you will want a calculator, or you can use Google as a calculator, but we'll be doing some math in this unit, and you'll want to have that. So let's get started. Simple interest versus compound interest. We just talked about that in our last unit, but to review, simple interest is interest earned on your principal. So if I invest $100, it's the money I earn on that. And principal is the original amount of money invested or saved. And compound interest is earning interest on interest. So just by listening to these two, you can see which one's going to generate more money. So simple interest equation, step 1. Principal times rate times time equals interest, PRT. And that will equal your interest earned. So if I have $1,000 invested at 7% interest rate for 5 years, the formula will look like this: 1,000 times 0.07, percents are in decimals, 2 to the left you move it, times the year, and that equals $350. So quite a bit of money interest earned in simple interest. Here's another equation. Principal plus the interest earned is the amount the investment's worth. So that $1,000 that invested at 7% for 5 years, 1,000 plus the $350 I figured earlier equals $1,350, and that's my total amount that I have now. Now compound interest is a little more complex. There's 2 methods for calculating compound interest. Single sum of money, if the money is invested only once at the beginning of an investment, or if it's equal number of investments spread over time. And there's actually lots of calculators online that can help you with these things as well. So that's the equal amounts of money invested multiple times a year, like every month or every year. So let's do a single sum first. The formula is P, and then parentheses 1 plus the rate times, or to the time period's power, and that's the amount the investment is worth. So let's do that 1,000 again, 7% compounded yearly for 5 years. By using this formula, before, remember, it was $1,350, now we're $1,403. So we're about $53 higher. And why is that? Because you're earning interest on your interest. Now here's the formula if there's multiple investments, and you can see the formula right here. I won't read it all to you, but if we use that same number again, if it's invested every year at 7% annual interest for 5 years, we're going to end up with $5,757. Now note this time we did invest $1,000 each year for 5 years, so we invested $5,000, but we earned over $757 in interest. So here you can compare those two, simple interest versus compound. Why? By reinvesting the interest earned, the interest payment keeps growing as interest is compounded on interest. The single sum versus investments over time, here's your compound and here is over time. And to make the most of your money, you should utilize compound interest and continue to invest. So don't just invest one time, but invest every month, every year, make it a periodic thing. Compound interest is the number of times interest is compounded, has effect on your return. Interest compounding frequently will yield higher returns. Here's an example. If you do it daily, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually, how much more it can be worth. And in this case, from annually to daily, it's a difference of just under $17. But if you're talking about more money, that number can really add up. So smart investing, what would you choose? An investment earning compound interest or simple interest? After this presentation, I hope you know that answer. The largest return is compound. Which would you choose, an investment earning an interest rate of 2% or 2.1%? More is better, 2.1. Which would you choose, an investment with interest rate compounded monthly or yearly? The more often we compound is better, so this one should be monthly, not yearly. And let's look at this practice now and see if you can give this a try. So after I read this, pause it and put these numbers in, or actually I will put those in, and then you can try as well. So Sarah deposits $600 into a savings account 1 year ago. She's been earning 1.2% in annual simple interest. Complete the following calculation to determine how much Sarah's money is worth now. So I have $600 as my principal, 1.2% is my rate, and I want 1 year, so I'm just going to be multiplying by 1. So I'm going to escape here. I'm going to pull up my Google, and I can do it right here. 600 times it was 1.2%, so 0.012 times 1. And that's going to give me $7.20 is how much interest I will have earned. And if I go back and look at my presentation, that is correct, $7.20. 600 plus the 720 gives me $607.20. That's how much her investment is worth after 1 year. So just by having her money invested, she's earned $7.20. That is unearned income because she didn't have to work for that. All right, now you try this one. Tim's grandparents have given him $1,500 to invest while he is in college to begin his retirement. He will earn 2.3% interest compounded annually. What will his investment be worth at the end of 4 years? Now to do this one, we have to go back and look at our compound interest formula. So I'm going to go back up here, scroll to find that one. And it looks like this. Principal, 1 plus the rate to the nth power equals my answer. So I'll go to Google. I'm in my calculator. Oops. I already forgot my numbers, so I'm going to have to go back and get those in my presentation. And the answer is on here, so you can see the answer, but I wanted to show you how you could do it in Google. 1,500, 2.3%, 4 years. So here's the formula. We'll put it into Google so you can see it. 1,500, parentheses, 1 plus 0.023. To do a power here on Google, you can use this button right here to the 4th power. And that is the amount that I get, which let's compare and see. 1 plus 0.023 to the 4th power, 1642 and 50 cents. 1642. And I have a little bit of cents differently here. So I could have put something in a little bit differently here. It also could be the rounding as well, because when they did to the 4th power, they rounded differently here. So if you did it the way I did it, I would not mark you incorrect. So the correct answer that they have is 1642 and 50 cents. So let's do one last practice one here. Practice 3. Nicole put $2,000 into an account that pays 2% interest and compounds annually. She invests $2,000 every year for 5 years. What will her investment be worth after 5 years? Now again, you can go back into the presentation to find out what the formula is. Look back into your notes. The formula is as follows: 2,000 times 1 plus 0.02 to the 5th power minus 1 over 0.02. And if you figure that out, we know that the answer, if she does 2,000 every year for 5 years, the answer has to be over $10,000. Shouldn't be too much over that. And then when we get our answer, here it's broken down into steps. And you can pause as you feel free. Her investment at the end of 5 years will be worth $10,400, which I kind of figured it had to be kind of around that range. So that is the end of this presentation. You will have to meet one of your standards, you will have to complete time value of money, simple and compound interest.